Hey everyone, and welcome back. You ever feel like you're uh, fighting a losing battle against clutter?
Oh, yeah.
And imagine trying to do that, but in a senior's home. You know,
Mm,
maybe someone who's held on to a lifetime of treasures.
right.
So today we're diving deep into how to keep a senior's space clean and safe
Ah, sounds good.
without, anyone losing their favorite things or their minds.
Oh, absolutely.
It's almost like trying to organize a museum,
Yeah,
but with someone who actually remembers every single exhibit.
that's a great way to put it.
So we have you here to help us all understand the art of decluttering and cleaning for seniors.
I'm happy to help.
So let's jump right in. Decluttering. I know this can be really tough for seniors,
Hmm,
especially if they've lived in the same place for a really long time.
absolutely. I think it's important to remember that their belongings aren't just, stuff to them.
Yeah.
They represent memories and experiences and a whole lifetime of stories. It's like their own personal time capsule.
So how do we even begin to approach decluttering without making it feel like we're like erasing their history?
The key is to focus on the benefits of a less cluttered space. Like instead of saying, get rid of this,
Right.
we can try framing it as like, wouldn't it be nice to have some more space to move around? Or imagine how much easier it would be to find things if we just organize this a bit.
Yeah, totally. It's like
Yeah.
we're on a treasure hunt, but for more space
Yeah,
and easier living.
exactly. Speaking of treasure hunts, there's a strategy that can be really helpful called the one in, one out rule.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this. How does that work?
It's really simple. So every time a new item comes into the house, a similar item has to go out.
Okay.
So, for example, if they get a new sweater, maybe they can donate an older one that they don't wear anymore.
Oh, okay. So it's like a fashion swap meet, but for all their stuff.
You got it. And the great thing is, it actually helps prevent clutter from building up in the first place.
Oh, that's smart.
It's like a secret weapon against future clutter battles.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like a preemptive strike against clutter invasion.
Exactly. But even with the best strategies, decluttering can sometimes be emotionally challenging for some seniors.
Yeah.
They might have really strong attachments to their belongings, and letting go can feel like they're losing a part of themselves.
So what do we do when we hit those emotionally charged items? The ones that have like a story attached every time you even try to move them.
Well, that's where patience and empathy are really important. It's
Right.
really about having open and honest conversations, acknowledging their feelings,
Okay.
and finding those creative solutions that honor their memories while still achieving, a sense of order.
I love that. What are some of those creative solutions? Give us an example.
Okay, let's say there's a collection of old photographs taking up an entire room.
Oh, wow.
Instead of pushing for them to be thrown away, maybe we can suggest creating digital copies or photo albums.
Perfect.
That way, the memories are preserved in a more manageable way.
Yeah, it's like digitizing those memories so they can revisit them anytime they want,
Exactly.
but without all the clutter.
Exactly. Or if they have a collection of knickknacks that hold sentimental value, we can help them create a special display area, like a memory shelf or a shadow box.
We're okay.
It's about finding ways to honor their past while creating a space that feels both comfortable and functional for the present.
It's almost like we're turning their home into a living museum with carefully curated exhibits of their life.
I like that analogy. And just like a museum, some things might need to be stored in the archives, or in this case, maybe in labeled boxes in the attic.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not always about getting rid of things completely,
Right.
but finding ways to organize and store them in a way that feels respectful and manageable.
Exactly. And remember, this is a process that takes time and sensitivity. It's about working together step by step to create a space that feels both safe and meaningful for them.
It's like we're helping them write the next chapter of their story in a space that reflects who they are and what they cherish.
Beautifully said. And just like any good story, it's about finding the right balance of old and new, memories and possibilities.
So we tackled the emotional side of decluttering, but what about like the practical stuff? Where do we even begin when it comes to actually cleaning a senior space?
Well, just like with decluttering, it's important to prioritize. We don't need to aim for like a spotless show home.
Okay.
The focus should be on creating a healthy and safe environment. And that means prioritizing those high traffic areas like the kitchen and bathroom and the floors.
Okay, that makes sense. Think like germ-free zone over white glove inspection.
You got it. We're not aiming for perfection here,
Okay.
but rather for a space that's clean enough to be healthy and comfortable.
Okay, so no need to stress about the dust bunnies under the couch.
Well, unless they're multiplying like rabbits, I think we can let those slide for now.
Okay, phew. I was starting to feel a little overwhelmed just thinking about all the nooks and crannies.
Don't worry, we'll get to those eventually. But for now, let's just focus on those areas that have the biggest impact on their health and safety.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
So what are some must-have tools that we should use to tackle those high-priority areas?
Well, first of all, we can ditch those heavy buckets and mops.
Okay.
There are so many lightweight and ergonomic cleaning tools available these days that make life easier for everyone, especially seniors.
I'm all for anything that makes cleaning less
Yeah.
of a workout.
Exactly.
So what are some of your favorite cleaning tools?
I love those Swiffer-style mops. They're lightweight, easy to maneuver, and you don't have to wring out a soggy mop head. It's like
Yeah.
win-win.
That's like the difference between doing laundry with a washboard and using a modern washing machine.
Exactly. And for vacuuming, there are some really great lightweight stick vacuums that are much easier to handle than those big, bulky, upright models. And for those who are maybe a little more tech-savvy, robot vacuums can be a lifesaver.
Ooh, a robot vacuum. That's like having a little cleaning buddy who just does all the hard work for you.
They're pretty amazing.
Yeah.
They can scoot around furniture, clean under beds, and even empty themselves. It's like having a personal cleaning assistant.
Okay, I'm adding a robot vacuum to my wish list.
Yes.
What other cleaning gadgets should we have?
Grabber tools are like essential.
Yeah, okay.
They're perfect for picking up items from the floor without having to bend over. No more risky stretches or potential for falls.
It's like having an extra long arm that can reach anything.
Exactly. And they're not just for cleaning. They can also be helpful for reaching items on high shelves or retrieving things that have rolled under furniture.
So they're like the Swiss Army knife of senior living.
Exactly. Always handy to have around.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
We talked about the emotional side of decluttering,
Yes.
the importance of prioritizing cleaning tasks, and some essential cleaning tools that can make life easier for seniors and those who care for them.
We even managed to sneak in a few laughs along the way. Remember, cleaning doesn't have to be a chore. It can be an opportunity to connect, to create a healthier and safer environment, and to make life a little bit easier for everyone.
Absolutely. And speaking of making life easier, I have a story to share about a time when I tried to help my grandma with her cleaning. But let's just say it didn't go exactly as planned. But we'll save that story for part two of our deep dive. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into keeping a senior's space clean and safe.
It's great to be back. Now, before we jump back in,
Yeah.
you teased a story about helping your grandma clean.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Spill the beans.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right, so picture this. It's spring cleaning time,
Okay.
and I'm feeling super ambitious.
Huh?
I decide I'm going to surprise my grandma by giving her entire house a deep clean while she's out with friends,
Okay.
you know? So she comes home to a sparkling haven.
Yeah.
I thought she'd be so thrilled.
Yeah.
But, well, it turns out that a place for everything and everything in its place,
Yeah.
you know, doesn't quite translate the same way across the generations.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I had reorganized her entire pantry, alphabetized her spices, like the whole 9 yards.
Wow. Very organized.
Practical.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Grandma didn't quite see it that way.
Oh, no.
Turns out she had her own system.
Yeah.
Kind of an organized chaos, but it made perfect sense to
Yeah.
her. Let's just say she spent the next week fixing everything I had done.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah.
I think it really just highlights how crucial it is, even with good intentions, to not impose our cleaning styles on others, especially seniors.
It's a good lesson learned, for sure. Their space, their system, their memories.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of respecting memories, we were talking about cleaning those high-traffic areas earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But what about rooms or areas that aren't used as often? Do those need the same level of attention?
That's a great question. The answer is, it depends. So we want to avoid neglecting any area to the point where it becomes like a health hazard. But we also don't want to create unnecessary stress by insisting on a deep clean of a guest room that's only used like once a year.
So it's all about finding that balance again.
Exactly. And communication is key here. Having an open conversation with the senior about what their priorities are and their comfort levels can really make a difference. Maybe they're okay with like a quick dusting of a guest room,
Yeah.
but would really appreciate help with keeping the bathroom tidy.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about working together, not dictating.
Mm.
Now, I know we talked about some pretty cool cleaning tools earlier,
Mhm.
but are there any like specific tips for making cleaning easier for seniors,
Hmm.
especially those with mobility challenges?
Absolutely. We've got like a whole toolbox of tips and tricks.
Okay.
So one simple but really effective strategy is to break down tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks.
Okay.
So instead of cleaning the bathroom, think, wipe down the sink,
Okay.
clean the mirror, scrub the toilet.
It's like, how do you eat an elephant?
Exactly.
One bite at a time.
Exactly. Breaking down those tasks makes it feel less overwhelming, especially if someone's dealing with fatigue or pain.
So important. Now, what about those tasks that require a little bit more, well, reach?
Yeah.
Like dusting ceiling fans, cleaning high shelves,
Yeah.
things like that.
Those high-flying challenges. The key is to avoid any risky maneuvers. So instead of climbing on like wobbly stools or ladders,
Right.
we can use tools that have extendable handles.
Oh, smart.
Think like long-handled dusters, mops, even squeegees for cleaning windows.
It's like giving them superpowers.
Exactly. We want to give them those tools to conquer those cleaning tasks safely and independently.
Now, speaking of independence,
Yeah.
I know that some seniors might resist help with cleaning, even if they're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we navigate that?
That's definitely a delicate situation.
Yeah.
It's really important to approach it with sensitivity and respect.
Yeah.
Remember, cleaning can be tied to a sense of pride and accomplishment.
Yeah.
So instead of forcing help, we can focus on collaboration.
So more, let's do this together.
Exactly.
Rather than, you need to let me do this for you.
Exactly. Maybe we can start by offering to assist with just like a specific task.
Okay.
Or by simply being present and chatting while they clean.
Oh, that's a good idea. It's almost like turning cleaning into like a social activity.
Right.
It's a cleaning party, but without the confetti and the streamers.
Right. It's about making it feel less like a chore and more like a shared experience. And you know what? Sometimes it's okay to let go of the reins a bit.
What do you mean?
I mean, maybe the baseboards don't get dusted every week. Or maybe there's a bit more clutter than we'd prefer.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance between maintaining a safe and healthy environment and respecting their autonomy and their preferences.
Right. It's their home, their space, their life.
Exactly. And sometimes a little bit of dust is just a reminder that life is meant to be lived, not just cleaned.
Ooh, that's some cleaning wisdom I can get behind.
Speaking of wisdom, I have a story to share about a time I learned a really valuable cleaning lesson from a senior.
Oh!
But we'll save that for part 3.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into keeping a senior space clean and safe. I'm ready for that cleaning wisdom you were going to share.
Okay, I'm happy to share.
Yeah, what was the lesson you learned?
All right, so years ago, I was helping a senior gentleman organize his garage.
Okay.
And he was a bit of a tinkerer. So you can imagine it was quite the project. We were sorting through tools and boxes of old parts, you name it.
I can only imagine.
And I was all about efficiency, like labeling everything, creating a system for where things should go. But as we were working, he kept stopping to reminisce about certain items. He'd pick up like a rusty wrench and tell me all about how he used it to fix his daughter's bike. Or pull out a box of screws and talk about building a birdhouse with his grandson.
That's so sweet.
It really was. And it made me realize that for him, this wasn't just a cleaning project.
Yeah. It was like a walk down memory lane. Each item held a story, a connection to someone he loved, a moment in time.
Wow.
And it was just this really powerful reminder that sometimes the process is just as important as the outcome.
Yeah, it's like those items weren't clutter. They were tangible pieces of his life story.
Exactly. And it really taught me to slow down, listen, and really appreciate that emotional value that seniors often attach to their belongings. It's not always about creating the most organized or the most efficient space, It's about creating a space that feels meaningful and comfortable for them.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the how-to of cleaning and forget the why.
It really is. And that why can be so much more powerful than just having like a tidy house.
Yeah.
It's about creating a sense of peace and comfort and connection for seniors.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like we're creating a space where they feel truly at home.
Exactly. And sometimes that means letting go of our own ideas about what clean or organized should look like.
Right.
And just embracing their unique perspective.
So true. So we talked about decluttering and cleaning tools and safety tips, even those little dust bunnies under the couch.
Yes, we did.
But it sounds like the biggest takeaway here is really empathy. communication, and respect throughout the entire process.
Absolutely. It's about remembering that we're not just cleaning a house.
Yeah.
We're helping a senior maintain their independence and their dignity and their connection to those memories.
Yes. It's about creating a space where they can thrive, not just survive.
Beautifully said. And it's also about recognizing that sometimes the best cleaning solution is simply a listening ear, a helping hand,
Yeah.
and a shared laugh along the way.
I love that. Couldn't have said it better myself. I think this deep dive has been so insightful. We've learned so much about how to approach cleaning and decluttering with seniors in a way that's both practical and compassionate.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our amazing listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, keeping a senior space clean and safe is about so much more than just scrubbing and sorting.
Yes.
It's about creating a space where they feel loved and respected and empowered.
And who knows, maybe you'll pick up a few cleaning tips for yourselves along the way.
That's right. And if you do discover any, be sure to share them with us. Until next time, happy cleaning.